We are calling, like the sun will shine.
Welcome, Lars. Welcome, Naleea. It is such a pleasure to be able to have this time together. Thank you very, very much for being with us and also being part of our Sacred Magdalene Festival, which is only a few weeks away now, and we are really excited about it. And it's really lovely to be able just to have a few moments here just to talk a little bit about, you know, what we will be creating together, what you two will be sharing, so that we can share that with all of the people who are interested in coming and with the people who are already booked their tickets and are getting as excited as we are about it.
Yeah, thank you both for joining us and for sharing some of your wisdom and some of your experiences with the energies of Mary Magdalene and Yeshua. For us, this is really an important meeting, and it's close to our hearts to offer this in Glastonbury, the heart chakra of the world, and that you two are coming and creating this magical synchronistic meeting with the people who will be coming to the festival as well. We feel it will really plant a seed of this Magdalene consciousness, of the Christ consciousness and the unity consciousness in Glastonbury. And that's really very precious to us that we will be creating this together. Mm-hmm. So looking forward to hearing more about what you will offer and what will be shared and the frequency and the feel that will be offered to the people coming to the festival.
So one of the questions that I really wanted to ask, Lars, for you, it's really interesting how you really embody and hold that frequency of the sacred feminine and of Mary Magdalene. And I wondered whether you would explain about what the frequent sacred feminine feels like within you.
I could also answer you by asking you, what is it that Mary Magdalene means to women, for example? I have met so many women who have claimed to be the incarnation, a new incarnation of Mary Magdalene. And in the beginning, I was really wondering what that was all about. And because why is it that she has such an appeal for our times, you know? Mm. And I think it has all to do with a huge misunderstanding right from the beginning, where we have been taught that Virgin Mary was the Virgin Mother of Jesus, you know, and not understanding what virgin really means, for example. So, but that's within when the Christian church were established, she became, so to speak, the archetype of all women. All women had, and it meant that women would not have any sexuality, for example. So Mary Magdalene was being character murdered from that time of when we don't hear anything more about it, and until 300 years later, when the church were instigated. And she was suddenly now the prostitute, meaning that she was representing women's sexuality. But you see, if we have known about the Virgin Mary, because of course she also, virgin means to be purified, not to be like virgin in the sense that we think about it. So the sexuality have always been there, but it somehow became divided. So we have the virgin and the prostitute, or, you know, the virgin and the whore. And it has always been divided like that. And of course it isn't like that. So what she represents is actually not, because she wasn't a prostitute, but she was a moon priestess, and she was educated as a moon priestess, meaning that she, exactly as the Virgin Mary, Mother Mary, who were also educated as a moon priestess, but the story was rewritten because it suited the politics of the church that women should have no say and should be better. So Mary Magdalene now, that's why I think it's so important, and also to men and also to me, because he now comes with a fresh approach, and like that German author who wrote a book called Jesus the New Man, the First New Man, I believe that she's the first new woman in our tradition of Christianity. So it is, when you talk about her, you will always also have to include Jesus and vice versa, or Jeshua, because they are one. Another thing I was thinking about that also meant a lot to me is that I found out that there was more than one Magdalene. Magdalene means the exalted one, and is um, initiation name that you are given. So you could have an Esther Magdalene, and you could have a Salome Magdalene, and so forth. So there was a huge group of women that was Magdalenes. So then I understand much better that a lot of women can feel so very connected, because they could have former lifetimes as a Magdalene, because they could come from that tradition of the Magdalenes. So to me, she plays a role as an archetype of the new woman, so to speak, or an archetypical woman who embodies all parts of the feminine, and also, of course, her own masculine part within. So it's to me now not only a matter of, to me she's representing the divine masculine also. She's kind of inviting him into on stage now, a new man also, being a partner, as we know now, for more than 100%. They were definitely working together and being, soulmates, as you say, but really partners in all ways, on all levels, you could say. And that to me is the most important. And that means that it is not only, I was so lucky to meet a moon priestess here in Denmark called Sylvia, who was part of the Order of the World Mother, who was very much into this tradition. And she said that it is not always necessary for man and woman now in our time to understand each other, the depth of each other to begin with, because there are so many things that men don't understand with women, and vice versa. But nevertheless, that we should respect each other, even when there's things we don't understand, and have trust, to within each other, because that's the only way that the masculine and the feminine can go forward hand in hand in equality. As soon as there's also another aspect of it. It's ownership, a new form of partnership, that there is a certain kind of freedom and trust that expands this kind of new relationship or partnership between two persons who really love each other in such a way that they would do for each other anything that it takes to help the other one take the next step, So they will do that together in that way. And while you are doing that, you are releasing so much more qualities within each other, by not only talking about trust, but being trust. I think also a lot of what we are talking about within the spiritual community has something to do with embodiment of the word. Whatever we say, whatever we think is the right thing, we should become it by doing it. And that is what the masculine and the feminine should help each other accomplishing. And then they will start to move mountains, because in that way they are merging on a higher level. Sorry for the long explanation, but I think that's really what it's all about for me. And that's what she represents for me, and how it started to ignite something within me.
Thank you, Lars. It's really beautiful to hear all of that, because it's full of this beautiful energy that I think we're all, it's all, and this beauty. And interesting, our guest speakers at the festival on Saturday, 22nd of July, you're going to be talking about the sacred union of the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine together.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that you will, be touching on what you've just been talking about now and going further. But I wonder that, because there are a lot of men who really are following their soul's path now. And what advice would you have for them who really want to go deeper into work in sacred masculine, and that there is this harmony of the two?
I cannot set any set rules as such, only that both for women and for men, for all of us, that we first and foremost begin and see what we are, who we are, where we come from, and what we're doing here, and that everything is consciousness, and that we are already enlightened. So now it's about time that we make that choice, that we recognize this and take responsibility for it. That's more or less that. I don't see that there's any special thing for men and anything special for women. To me, it goes for all of us. You see? But of course, we could go more in detail, but that will cover both the masculine and the feminine, I think.
That's really powerful. Maybe if you allow me, Caroline, I have a question for Naleea as well. So hi, Naleea, and thank you both for being here. I was wondering how you came across the energy and the teachings of Mary Magdalene and Yeshua, and what some of maybe the most important effects of meeting their energy, their presence in your life is. What are some of the shifts that you've noticed, or some of the changes within yourself that you'd like to share with us?
I think for me, they are both coming from the power or the essence of unity consciousness. And that's where I feel my own home. So they are way showers, have been and still are. And it's just such a gift and such a joy to know that they're there, walking the way. I cannot say if they have influenced me, or if they have, or if the transformation came through them or so. I just know that I always had a yearning whenever I heard their names. And I have been very grateful to feel a brother and sisterhood appearing more and more in my life, where many people as well have the experience of the reality of their presence as a completely different experience as in what, for example, a teaching in a church would have given me before, where I have been rejecting quite a lot in that way. So, and it's wonderful to experience as well with you both, women, like a natural understanding of of the reality of their presence. That brings me to something that is really dear to my heart as well, about the workshop. It's going to be called the unity of the sacred feminine and masculine. And to me, in the world, like in the festival as well, the sacred, there is so much opening if we take it seriously, if we start to rest in it, and integrate it into our everyday lives, instead of putting it on a shelf or a pedestal, similar to holiness, for example. I always feel like I can breathe more when we have this opportunity to actually acknowledge that life is sacred and holy, and we reach that essence together, like in a conversation or in just being with each other. Like in the one of the songs, May God Bless You. It's and every breath we take is sacred. So I love that, to take experiences into our everyday reality, to take the knowledge, the mind into the heart, which is of course part as well of the balancing of the sacred masculine and sacred feminine. Yeah,
that's beautiful. I think you both insisted on the fact that it's very embodied, the energy that they bring and the presence that they bring in these times. And I think that's something that appeals to a lot of people. And some key words that really resonated with me and what you shared, as well as this yearning is how it starts for a lot of people, or they're yearning for something. And then also this this beautiful sacred brotherhood, sisterhood that is forming on the planet, and that forms these beautiful natural connections. It shows that we can, maybe humanity can go back to this unity consciousness and this sharing from the heart, and this natural way of being together. It's beautiful. Thank you for highlighting that.
Mm. Absolutely. I mean, it's very interesting. I think that also what we're really on is it's about resonance, isn't it? That wherever there is something that calls us, or feels like it's something of a remembrance, and that feeling of just being able to say yes when it's to our energy field, and we can explore that more. And one of the things I would really love to ask both of you is that when I've seen you give talks together, and there seems to be beautiful light that comes from both of you as your energies and you're joined together. And I wanted to ask you what that feels like, that sense of that union of both of your light together, and what it creates, and how it embraces the people who are with you and listening to you.
About the people, you would need to ask the other people. But for me, it just feels like I always have discovered within the writing as well from Lars, that there's a home frequency, and that home frequency is just downloading itself. And somehow when we are working together, it seemed to be stronger. Yeah, that's how it is for me.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Absolutely. It's just there, you know. It's being released. It's something that is there. So it's just by activating that thing that when we are doing the work, it's activated to voice, to singing, to sound, and then I feel that we are when we harmonize, often in the beginning of talk or workshop or whatever, and then it's like things are just falling into place, you know. It I cannot explain it in any other way, but it's really tender and powerful at the same time.
Thank you. It's beautiful. Do you both feel as well, having worked with these presences and these energies for years now, is it true to you that there is an awakening around this consciousness, that there are more and more people connecting to this? And if you feel this is so, why do you think this is? And how do you see this evolve, this energy? Do you see it growing still? And what does it create? What does it facilitate today within humanity? It's kind of a question to the both of you as well.
To me, it really is something that is opening more and more. I wish I would have all the answers and the knowledge of the hows and whys. Yet I'm grateful that I at least have the experience of the unfolding, being part of the unfolding. I can just, from my own, my own feeling of why I am there, I can just see that it seemed to be two different focuses that are present. One is, to me, something that is called like just an awakening to everybody who and that can be in any way, and like that can be through spiritual knowledge, that can be through a smile, that can be through bringing someone a bunch of flowers, or any ways of that's recognizing of the divine in the other, connecting in joy and allowing the other one to be. And the other one is something that I feel is about holding a space to help, or to it's not to heal, but it's to transform our topics as, so to speak, the broken healers, or the healers that are incarnations of higher consciousnesses that then have had traumas because of feeling lonely, or feeling cut off from their own gifts, or their own group consciousness, their own tribes, so to speak, and then to really build groups and build platforms that that there's nourishment. That's the better word. That was what I was searching for. Not healing, but the nourishment. And that goes on. I think that then opens as well the remembering. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think nourishment is a perfect word, because it's everything that just fills us all up with something that is inspiring and brings energy and brings that sense of unfolding. And it's a glorious thing to be able to bring everything together so that the people who are going to be joining us can also experience that sense of being fully nourished by something that is authentic and true and brings great wisdom to people's being able to just to experience something firsthand as well. So, we really feel deeply honored that both of you are joining us, and I know that we feel, Anaïs, that we are deeply honored and blessed to be able to put this together, to create this together.
You're also honored and grateful that we can be part of this. So thank you to both of you for this.
Thank you. I definitely feel a very strong heart opening already here, just connecting in the Zoom circle. Yeah. I think it resonates very strongly with elements of what you both shared, of this opening, this connection, this brotherhood, sisterhood. And it's part also of the motivation why we organize this meeting, is to allow this blossoming, this opening to take place. And we feel that also by bringing your energies, we will create something very powerful in Glastonbury, and maybe create a field, a resonant field. It's also what I heard when you shared about the energy that's generated when the both of you do talk together. I feel that there's this field that is created that allows people to maybe open more easily as well, to open their hearts. And if this is what can be facilitated in Glastonbury, then I think that's really a great gift to the people coming and joining.
Yeah, it's very much about experiencing like an inner space where you receive your own guidance. Absolutely. Yeah. Sorry, I interrupted. Lars, what did you want to say?
No, I just wanted to say that this is what we want to achieve. That's. I mean, if that's achieved, I mean that's what makes both of us grateful. When we are done, when we have felt that this has been achieved at some level, that is just above anything, because we also feel that sometimes when the last group we had was in London a few weeks ago with College of Psychic Studies, and this feeling of that all those different people who came together is a group when we leave, all of us, that's really when it's, it just brings so much joy to the heart,
It does, doesn't it? And when we are also going to the very sacred Chalice Well on Saturday evening, 22nd of July, for Aramaic chants underneath the guardian yew trees by the constantly flowing river that has been flowing for thousands of years at the same rate, same temperature, in this way. It's going to be incredible for everyone who joins us to hear Aramaic sung, chanted, maybe joining in as well. And I wanted to ask both of you, what it is, do you think, about the resonance of Aramaic that when we hear it, it is so inspiring, even though it isn't a language that we will know unless we know some Hebrew maybe, but it's something, isn't it, that seems to wake us up in some way.
Yeah, I would say, I've come to this conclusion that to me it is more the understanding of the psychology behind it. Yes, the sound of the words are beautiful, no doubt about it. But there's this, I cannot explain it in any way other than when we have understood some of the preliminaries of the language, or what is the driving force behind it, or the healing force within it, you can actually take that into any language, to English, to Danish, to German, to any other language, and it'll be as powerful as the Aramaic. You see, that's really the thing that I myself are working very much, trying to because time is limited for all of us in many ways. So I think that to find, not to make a shortcut, but to find a direct way to the source that is easy for everyone, because we want to include everyone. There can sometimes be a tendency to make things very elite, or for the initiated and so. But we are all initiated, and we need to be. No one will be the first. No one will reach home before we are all home. So we should really start to see this in a new way. I think that we are in the same boat together.
Yeah, I talk about home. So what I really, really love, and just to give one thing maybe as well, to those who cannot come, is really the power of the Shem, as it is in Shemaiah. And for me to understand the word Shem, and to hold it like this is a natural thing, I think it is part of many practices too, but to me this is a natural thing as well, just to hold it here on the upper heart, and to have the understanding I am home, and to let that word Shem resonate in us, just to meditate with us, with us, that awareness and that connectedness of the female and masculine, the female and masculine, that already, you can sit with that for many, many, many days, and so much will come up.
Yeah, it's very powerful, that, and so instantaneous as well. It's like a direct line to something very warm and familiar and inviting to go deeper. So thank you.
Thank you.
Let's embody the Magdalenes and the Nazarenes when we meet.
Yes. Thank you very much. We really look forward to being able to share in person with you in a few weeks' time.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
I'm excited to offer this space to the people who will be coming.
Good. See you there.
Bless it.
See you very soon on the sacred.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.